So let's talk about acetaldehyde, one of the most important flavour compounds in beer. The acetaldehyde flavour is caused by the chemical acetaldehyde, which also goes by the name of ethanol. Now, acetaldehyde can remind people of the smell of green apples, of emulsion paint, of pumpkin, and also badly made homemade wine or beer. It's formed by yeast during the fermentation process. So when the yeast is trying to make alcohol and carbon dioxide, it makes acetaldehyde on the way. The most important thing you get in your wort that determines the level of acetaldehyde in the beer is the metal ion zinc. And if you don't have enough zinc in your wort, you're going to get too much acetaldehyde. Now, acetaldehyde is sometimes meant to be in beer. For example, certain beer styles like French country beer, Bière de Gare, has acetaldehyde as a key flavour impact character. But in most beers, acetaldehyde is a defect. It's an off flavour. And ideally, you want to minimise the level of the acetaldehyde in beer. The reason why that's important is the acetaldehyde can make the beer less drinkable. And for customers who are drinking your beer, they'll drink less of it if the acetaldehyde level is high. So let's take a look at how we can assess acetaldehyde in beer by tasting. First of all, we have the beer here, and our standard way of assessing it, we go through a multi-stage procedure that you've seen in our other videos. I'm going to focus on how you taste acetaldehyde specifically in beer. So the first thing is to pick it up by aroma, by swirling the glass and taking a 2-second sniff. The green apple character should be evident when the acetaldehyde is there. But the second thing is to taste the beer and look for a change in the mouthfeel, a harsher flavour character when acetaldehyde is present. It can take a bit of practice, but with the right beers to which you've added reference flavour standards, you'll soon get good at picking up this character. When people are learning to assess acetaldehyde, they sometimes confuse it with two other flavours. The first flavour is ethyl hexanoate, an apple-like flavour produced by yeast, an apple ester. The second flavour is trichloroanisole, a musty flavour produced by molds. Now, you can avoid confusing those flavours by training to learn acetaldehyde alongside learning to taste ethyl hexanoate and trichloroanisole. Typically, there are only a few milligrams per litre of acetaldehyde in a good beer, maybe 1 or 2 milligrams per litre. When the level goes higher, the beer will start to have a dominant flavour of green apple. Some beers can go very high, as much as 10, 20 or maybe even 30 milligrams per litre, really making the beer difficult to drink. Now, the type of beer does have an effect, particularly beers with a high level of sulphur dioxide, and those are usually lager beers, where the yeast produces sulphur dioxide during the fermentation. When the sulphur dioxide is present, it binds to the acetaldehyde and suppresses its flavour character. So it's beers which have no sulphur dioxide, such as strong ales, that tend to give us the strongest flavour intensity of acetaldehyde. So a really important character, mostly a defect, but sometimes found in specialty beer styles, and a flavour worth learning to recognise.